Patrick. I'm her best looking and best behaved son by a long shot. And I've been trying to do music since I was your guys' age, and it's just started working out recently. And I've read through this whole thing, and most of what I want to talk to you about is that you can pursue your dreams and your goals while staying in school, while going to college, and while achieving those dreams and goals. They're not mutually exclusive. They can be done together and in parallel with each other, which is nice, and I think a lot of people overlook. I understand you guys have already read through this sheet, correct? Yeah. One of the things that stood out to me a lot on this was failing forward. I like that a lot. Do not be afraid to be bad at something in front of people. Embarrassment is really healthy and really good. I'm doing that right now because this is an awful photo of me. No one would ever wear their hat like this. No one should ever wear their hair like this. But I was a little bit older than you guys when I was in this photo, and it was one of the first shows that I ever played music that I had written in front of people. It's important to do that, to go out and just conquer the things that you want to do in front of people. And honestly, I was nervous telling you guys that, but just hanging out with you for 20 minutes, I'm way less nervous about this group specifically. You guys are really, really extroverted, and that's refreshing, honestly. I think everyone in here could go really far. You don't understand how many kids you're going to meet in college, how many kids you're going to meet in high school that are afraid to get up in front of the class like you guys just did. I'm talking about just like sitting in their seats, will not move at all. Like, it's impressive to me that you guys are able to come up here and speak. A little more about what I've done. So I've been playing shows since I was about your guys' age, since I was 13. This is one of those first shows. Can I move the slide?
You may.
All right. That's me a couple weeks ago at a show in Denver, Colorado. We play there a lot. We also have played shows in LA, Portland, Seattle, the whole West Coast, all over in the past couple of years, recently more than other. We just signed with a booking company called Aorta Booking. The name of my group is Not My Weekend, by the way, sorry. We're going on tour in January. This is a recent photo of us. And again, all of this is on the same path that I started in that first photo back in 2013 or whatever that was. This is the album that we just put out a couple weeks ago. As of this morning, it has 52,000 plays in total, with 200,000 plays on the first single and 150,000 plays on the second single. And all of that is after signing with a company called We Are Triumphant. It's just a record label out of California that has been very nice to us and that has really embraced our branding and our songs. And I want to stress that everything I just said is not outside of me. And it wouldn't be outside of you. I think there's this sort of idea that when you start working with bigger companies like labels and booking management, those things become outside of your control or outside of your responsibility, and it's not at all. I'm still responsible for everything that we do financially on a public forum. I'm still responsible for booking all of our shows, even though I'm working with that booking company. So that's incongruent with us. You never stop working hard yourself, regardless of what your goals are in life. And that's applicable to anything that you want to do. This isn't just being famous on Instagram or making music or trying to be an entertainer. This is anything you want in life. And when you start working with bigger companies, that doesn't take responsibility off you. It just means the responsibility is shared. If anything, there's more of it. Other things on this list of stuff that you guys have been discussing that I thought was inspiring. I really, really liked embracing challenges. I would say the best decisions I've ever made in my life were the ones that scared me the most. In 2016, right before all of this started happening, we had a batch of songs that I felt pretty good about. And what I did with those was I followed a tour of bands that were not ours, were not music that I was a part of, that I wasn't on without asking. I just got in my car and I drove and I went to every single one of those shows. And I talked to every single person that was at that show and said, hey, please listen to my music. And that was a super scary thing for me because it cost me money. I could have been dead on the side of the road but I knew it was the right decision because it scared me. So if you guys want to do something in your life and you're really nervous to take that next step, I promise you that likely means it's the right next decision. So I would say that's one of the most valuable things I can give you guys. Also, something I've lived by for the past 3 years that have certainly been the best 3 years of my life is if you know what's right, don't let anybody tell you that it's wrong. You have no idea how terrible I was at music when I was your guys' age. I could not sing, I could not play guitar, and I was doing it in front of people all the time. People told me I was terrible, rightfully so. People bullied me. Seriously, when I was your age, I got bullied, like hit in the head, bullied, all right? But don't ever let anybody that feels that way or that negatively about anything slow you down or stop you, all right? Not anybody at school, not anybody outside of school. If you're passionate about something and it makes you happy, then do it. And also, at the very bottom of this list, speaking of making you happy, is processing a healthy sense of self. Put your sense of self above everything, all right? Above everything that I just said. If something's causing you anxiety or fear or pain, make sure you solve that. Make sure you focus on that first. And do not be afraid to talk to others about it. And I'm not worried about this group specifically because you guys seem very open-minded and very talkative, which is good. But I cannot stress the importance and the beauty in mentors, in finding people that want to help you. Like Miss Ingram, like all of your teachers here. Every single college class I've ever had, regardless of how many kids were in it, I went up and shook hands with that teacher and made sure they knew my name. Because and be open and honest with them, and you're gonna find happiness and you're gonna find success in whatever you want to do, is what I would say. And if you guys have any questions or want to hear any of the tunes, now's the time for that.